Good afternoon, Super Robot Wars fans. My name is Austin, and I've got another episode of Super Robot Wars R for you today. We are still on the, not quite eve, the horizon, the dawn of information about Super Robot Wars Y, so we're all still very excited about that. Feel free to ask me some questions if you got any thoughts or things you want to know, but right now we are largely in the dark, and we're just clinging onto little scraps of information that we have. A few more series have been confirmed by now, so that's very exciting. But other than that, I don't think there's a lot more to say. I think anything I can say you could probably find just as easily on something like Steam or wherever you might acquire this game. So we'll leave that there for now. Let's jump into our scenario. As I mentioned last time, this scenario is a bit unique in this game, and that this is like the primary grinding space. So we have a pretty standard formation of units, but once we get down to once we get down to 8 units remaining, and this Devil Gundam in particular is alive. Enemies will keep reinforcing will keep arriving from like this area, and then a mirrored spot down here. Each section has 4 enemies, and they will do that endlessly. You can keep doing that as much as you'd like. So I in the past have saved a little bit of funds just to I've saved a few funds so that we can keep upgrading the same units, and if we don't have enough to get the next point, then we can save it for next time. But for the sake of trying to demonstrate what you might choose to do going into the scenario, I have spent down as much as possible. I did have a way to clear the 110th place, but you do potentially want to spend as much of your money into the scenario as possible, because you can also walk away from the scenario. How many times can I say the word scenario? Good golly. You can max out your money in this scenario by repeatedly destroying these units from here and from here. I mentioned last time also that you could potentially max out your kill count, and that is true, but only on the units that you have deployed. If you do fail the scenario and you redeploy units, you will lose all of the kill counts on them, which I think is different than what I said last time, but I did go back and check to make sure. You would keep all the money, you wouldn't keep the parts, obviously, because these pilots would still have them, right? Like, he still needs to have his linear seat or his eye field. So you keep the money even if you failed, but you would not keep the kill count. So you could max out all, how many we're bringing, 13, 14, 15, all 16 pilots that are here. That's 13 pre-selected, 1 Nail Argama, 1 God Gundam, and 1 Excellence. Which is still potentially a lot. There is no reason to take this number. This is your kill count number in case I've not played it out before. I'm sure I have, but yeah, this is your kill count. There's no reason to take this number above 200. Once you get to 200, you stop getting any extra benefits. 100 and 50 and 100 are the 2 ace marks to give you more morale, and then every 40 kills is an extra 10% funds that you get from killing with that pilot. So there's no reason to go above 200. It is a lot of grinding. We will not be doing that, but I would be remiss to not talk about it. People do like that. People do play games, especially tactics games, and try to find ways to grind in them, so I at least should point it out. I will get these enemies to spawn once, though, just to show it off, but other than that, I will not continue that. Or at least not deliberately. It is quite possible that it's going to happen a couple of times, just with how the scenario goes. They are kind of weak, and we are attacking some more defensive bosses into a medium-sized base tile. By medium-sized, I mean, like, it gives you, it's not the strongest one, right? Like, it's not one of the hero bases that's 30-30, 20-20. It's 20-20, 10-10. But once we clear all of these enemies, we will see a boss we've not had a chance to look at in a long while, not since scenario 4, and they weren't even a boss in that scenario. So there's no reason to really rush here. I do want to move forward some amount, so we will set up our morale giving formation a little further ahead this time. we can put George in here for one of these. I don't remember. Does Paula have Rouse? No, she does not. So actually, here I don't think we've shown this off before. So the Double X and the G Falcon can combine together. If I were to move the G Falcon onto the Gundam X, we still get a move. But if I move the Double X onto the Falcon, that ends the action because it is the primary unit, so the game still sees that as having its action taken. I mentioned it before. I think it's like I think it's pretty easy to be able to see that, but I figure I may as well show it. That's you know what? That's probably fine for raid. These guys don't need a ton of morale. I'd rather have the Maxter get it, just so we can get into super mode. And I think it's actually good for our formation. Like, I think if we can get roughly this shape every time, that'll work fine. And we won't move the rest of the Mister. We are somewhat closer, right? Like, they can attack us immediately. I have complained about needing to, like, hold off. We gotta, like, waste turns to not rush in. Right, or that we gotta spend turns early to, like, get close to the enemies. And this is, like, one of the first scenarios where everyone is right close, and I'm not charging in. But part of that is because they are going to... They're gonna come right at us anyway, and, we now have something to do with those opening turns. Right, like, they gave us opening turns, we didn't have a lot to do with them. Now that we want those opening turns to set up, they do not afford them. It's very silly. I mean, it's not silly. I think that's, like, maybe good design. That does, like, make us consider our options, but we are going to sit here for one turn. It will make the rest of the scenario so much easier. I guess a turn and a half. Some people are going to have to stay where they are for this to happen. There was a thought. Please come back to me. Being attacked right away. Nah. It eludes me. Also, I guess, sorry, I'm hearing it now. I don't know if you can. Maybe I can clean it up a little bit in post. But there is a incredible storm going through my area right now. And the thunder is just perpetually shaking my room. Okay, these are all set up. Right, you can now have relevant SPUs. I didn't need to bring the Double X, but I didn't have anything else I particularly wanted to bring, so I figured I would just one more time. And then this will be like the last time we're really gonna get to see them, and then get to use like the satellite cannon. Actually, they need to be at, hold on, how much morale does he need to have? 100. I'm sure we'll get to 130 naturally. We don't need to waste it on him. This is where live chat would be excellent. We could talk about something while we're just setting up like this. I believe that is everybody now. The Combattler can do it, but again, now that we've got Bright, we should be good on morale. The Combattler actually is the one that is a little low, but we don't have to fight a boss immediately, so we can get those 3 kills. Right? We have one sitting there right for us. We can also charge. We'll just take this for free. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. We have not had a map that functioned like this in a long while. So we should also, I also want to mention this. So we are on the surface of a moon, the moon. I don't remember if there's multiple moons in this crossover. But these scenarios work a little bit more unique, and I don't think you would necessarily know this with, like, just looking. But right now, this Duminass is on the ground. It is using its ground terrain stat right here. But the Gundam Rose. It's in the air right now, so it looks like it should be using its air stat, but in fact it's using its space stat because we are above the surface of the moon. When you are like this, they do take their space stat into account. Nowhere in the game tells you this. I've only figured this out through the testing for the calculator. But that is what my findings have come to, that you use your space stat when you are flying in places like the moon. This isn't like true for... This is true every time that you are in a space that you could every time you were in a location that is describable as space-like. I do have them marked off whether or not they are in space at the beginning of the scenario document. There is a space checklist to make it a little bit easier, because otherwise you might not necessarily know, especially if you can't read the kanji. But this is like the only situation where that works like that. Everything else is like clear what you are using, right? There's never a time where you are flying in space that it doesn't take your space stat into account, right? Where like if you see the void of space, that uses space. If you're in the water, you're always in the water. If you're on the ground, you're always on the ground. This circumstance is the only oddball one. Oh, we also, I could have mentioned this before, we do also have the Crowda here. I did not upgrade it at all. So we'll use him for a scenario at least. And we can show off the reward that we got. I think he fills a similar role as the Janice. They both have really high value attacks right out of the box. Like 600 points more than most other units do. They have 2 stat points in them to begin with, but you didn't have to pay for those, so like that is a point in their favor. That is some points in their favor. But they do also come. The Crowda especially does come so late into the playthrough that it's hard to give it so much credit, because, you know, we have, what? This is scenario 31, so we have 7 scenarios remaining. Because these have the same hit, I know it's going to do a lot less damage, but I don't want to risk 40 energy on a 60-70 hit. What else can we talk about interesting happening here? We are at the point now where a lot of our units are getting max evade for things, right? Like the God Gundam. Actually, no, I was gonna say the God Gundam is not necessarily as good stat-wise, but I do have. Oh no, we took off all the defensive parts. We let that be exclusively on its own, but it is almost max upgrade. And riding Food Psyche does give you, I think, plus 10 mobility. I think. I can check that. If there's downtime, I can pull that up. Okay. Now we're like finally mashed into the middle of things. We can like start getting some good support attacks going and get some better positioning. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So. If we once we've destroyed 5 units, then the reinforcements will arrive, assuming that one of those units is not this particular double Gundam. These 2 can go down, but the other ones cannot. Or the other one can't if you want to keep the grinding alive. Okay, maybe we don't charge him in immediately. We are finally in like the ball of death formation, so we can actually get some support attacks. I don't think we like super duper need to at this point, but we may as well if we can. That's pretty free. I just forget how much we've not put into Fiona, so I also just expect her to, like, perfectly dodge everything, and that is not true. I think this needs the support attack the most, so at least if we're going to use them, we might as well use them on something relevant. And then we can have... George should have 2? Yeah. And then we can have Jamil do the same here. He has 9 of these. There's no reason not to use them. I don't know if this is necessarily good, because it's only partially true, but I'm a little bit more hesitant to use ammo than I am to use energy. Just, like, you do get 5 energy back a turn. It's not a ton, and for a lot of attacks, that's, you gotta, like, wait, like, 6 turns to actually get something done with it. But, it is true. It is how I think about it. Okay. Yeah, we do want to take out these, I believe these are elite soldiers. Does that say elite? I don't know. I know the last Kanji is soldier. But they do have a support defense, so we can... that's like the only hang up right now. Anyone low? No one is low enough. Using a battleship to trigger a support attack is also a pretty good idea. They can take the hit that they'll get back from counterattacking, and it gives your other unit a second action, basically. You know what? What level is this? Level 46. Let's give this to Rain. I did say that I wavered back and forth on whether or not Rain was going to get enough kills to make training her worthwhile. But I think here we maybe can. That is 4 levels. Okay, yeah, I don't know. That'll be fine. I know she did just get another spirit, and I did say that, like, levels that give you spirits can matter. But because we already have the, like, spirit we want on her, which is Rouse, it doesn't matter that much. Resupply is, like, still good. But what was it? We need to hit 140. So, like 4 more levels. 3 more levels? 3 more levels is relevant. Maybe I was underestimating a little bit how much experience we could gain really quickly. We can let Chimney take this, that's fine. We have resuppliers and healers right around the corner. I should have looked at the support. I should have looked at what attack the Getter was using. That probably wasted a lot of energy. Okay, you don't have a support attack left, so... What does the Getter have? We'll switch to Getter 2. He only has 1 support attack. Also, are we... Yeah, we're A everywhere. That's like the deal, right? I wish I had to look more, but... Oh, wait, hold on. We should be on the ground, though, because the Getter 2 cannot be in the air. I'm used to the Getter 2 being the air one, but that's the Neo Getter, not the Shin Getter. This probably also doesn't... Actually, that probably doesn't need a support attack. What are we doing here? The Gundam X, though, that probably warrants it. Oh, no, you need it. Let's get you on the ground. What's our... Yeah, see, it's just A and everything other than water. I think at this point, support attacks aren't really meaningful, or are meaningful in fewer situations. Either if we have a generic enemy that is at full health, because odds are we can take it. Oh, that was bad on my part. Whoops, sorry. We can either take it fully down, or if we are fighting something that's like way tankier, like one of these, for instance. We can give this to the God Gundam, but it just doesn't feel as worth it when... Yeah, there we go. when we can just sort of rush everybody in and smash face already. So as you see, some more units have spawned. It's 3 G-bits, which I do think I mentioned were only in last scenario, but turns out they were in this one too. My mistake. I hope you'll grow accustomed to this. I do tend to be wrong a lot, but I do find that is like a good way to become right. Either y'all will correct me, or like it'll become glaringly apparent when I'm messed up. It's a matter of listening to all of the things, all of the corrections too. But neither here nor there. We also got the 2 more Grandmaster Gundams. So that's like the easiest way to get the money out of this scenario. Now that we've showed this off, I don't really want to spend more time grinding them, so I think we are going to push forward some amount. So here's what I'm thinking. We are within 3 range to get this attack off next turn. I'm not going to bother with it this turn because... Well, I'll show you in a second. First, this tile goes back 10% HP. So that's, what, 2,000? That's 2,875 HP for free from that tile. And they also have HP regen small, so it's actually double that. So it's 5,000 HP they're getting back. So this is, again, sort of an all-or-nothing situation. If we get halfway through the HP, then, like, that could be fun. But I'd much rather just try and burst it down in one turn. May as well. No, the carrots should not be taking that. You could definitely, I forgot to switch it off again, sorry. I'm apologizing like you're, I'm apologizing like that, like I've committed a grievance against you. I'm sorry for misplaying. But see, like, these enemies will attack right away as soon as they arrive. You can orchestrate a scenario where they just keep spawning in and keep dying to them attacking. It's definitely a fun exercise to do once, but it feels a little tedious at a point. Let's see. We're just gonna block this. I don't love the 60 hits. We'll waste it on the... I don't mind risking it on the Nail Argama, though. It's not doing anything else really that productive. Though it is getting thumped by these G-bits. I was not expecting it to take that much damage. Yeah, that's... See, I'm glad I didn't spend it. Also, notice that the Carrot did not get a support defense there. That's because it would have been lethal to it if it had taken the support defense, so it can't. We will try and dodge, but we'll send this over to the Combattler also, because it's going to get healed anyway. The enemies do move in a strange order. I don't think I've ever tried this. When I've repeated it with the G-bits. But I think if killing the Grandmaster, if destroying the Grandmaster Gundam is what sends the new units in, that will be already past where the G-bits would have activated, so that they will not take their turn. Okay. We have 3, well, maybe 4, hold on. He's got 1, or she's got 1, and he has 2. Okay, we have 4 support attacks put together that we can throw on here. I think that's what we're gonna do. We also want to try and get on this base as much as possible, just A, it's good terrain for us. B, we don't want them to take it. And we are going to be fighting around this position when that other boss I mentioned shows up. I was gonna say, maybe we could burn through this eye field, but it has so much energy. And none of its attacks consume that much, so we are probably going to be sitting here for... We're probably just going to have to ignore all of its... Or no, we can't ignore... We can't ignore it. We're going to have to just attack through it, irrespective to the fact that it's going to ignore a lot of our damage. Nope. But I do want to start with using units that I don't really care about what their actions would be otherwise, just to get more attacks out of the getter. In order to get all 4 actions, this Devil Gundam is going to have to go down, though, too. We should think about that. So, we might only get 3 attacks. Which I guess if that was true, we should have... one of the ones we lost, one of the ones we didn't get to use, should have been the Getter 3s, because he's got the lowest attack right now. But that's okay. I'm going to do it this way because I believe we can still take this out. We can use the Combattler for it. I could, with an Excel, be on the other side of this. Does that matter? We've got 5 move natively, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably not. I think we'll leave it here. We can have the Carrot heal first. I guess we do want to destroy it, so... We can open here. Saisaishi does some damage to it. Actually, hold on. How is the Combattler supporting this? That's fine. And then we can Valor up for the kill on. Yeah, we can Valor for the kill here. And they are worth a good chunk of change, so we will Fortune too. Right, they are worth 10,000, so I'd call that worth it. And now we've unlocked the other Getter attack. We can have the Maxter do this because it does get its super mode move from this too. It does get access to it. In hindsight, I think I probably should have used the Maxter more than I did. I think we probably also had 100 hit already. That was a waste of a bullseye. I got ability happy. Yeah, we were at 100 hit and we were at 38 dodge. We just needed to use the Persistent of Valor. By the looks of it, we didn't even need to use the Valor. Well, we actually, no, we did, because that saves us a Valor on the Getter, and the Valor on the Getter is worth 4, I think. Okay, that's dead. We will XP this too. What, we're at 49, it's at 48? That's still a good amount. It's technically a boss, we showed off. It's less of a boss now because of what we did. If you don't recruit Master Asia, he will show up here for the last time in that Devil Gundam. The ultimate boss of the game, Duminass, has returned. He showed up briefly in a cutscene in Scenario 4. But he is back now. So here's one of the reasons we did also start with the Excellence. she's going to get moved now that this boss has shown up, and it does not refresh her turn. So taking her out of position and also having her used is not good. As usual with the cutscene fights, we get that to 10 HP, but we've just decided that we're okay. Yeah, see, so now we're over here. We are definitely going to fly back onto the base now that we have a clear and safe for all of our units. Sorry about that. But we can also start going after the Frost Brothers now. Also, now that we've destroyed that Devil Gundam, all of these will stop spawning, like I mentioned before. But I'm intentionally not going to target them. They will rush in, and they will die to their own devices. And we also aren't going to get anything else from... nothing else from the scenario is going to show. Like, no other things are going to show up in this scenario now that Duminass has arrived. So, it's just a matter of getting all these down whenever we want. And prioritizing the bosses obviously makes more sense. I say fighting something that is not a boss, but in my mind, they're boss-like, you know. We probably aren't going to kill it this turn, though, so we can funds it next turn. We'll just attack one of the Grand Gundams instead, the Grandmaster Gundams instead. I'm sure there's gotta be, but do we know of... is there a Super Robot Wars game that has all these units separately? Like, can you play as the Walter or can you play as the Grand Gundam? I mean, odds are they're going to be enemies, I would assume. But having rain attack is risky. We'll keep her close so that if she can get a kill on a random hit that's coming in, then all the better. Putting the Mephuse at this right angle, I think, is safe for her. And now that we're here, we can also, if we're going to keep her on the base, we can land her. But she probably won't take up one of the base spots. She'll probably take up one of the spots around it. And I think that'll work. Oh, right, yeah, so he's also not getting the support. Shaggy is not getting the support defense because Olba is on the ground, so Shaggy will be an easy target. Do we care? They also don't retreat this scenario. I feel like I remember them retreating a lot more than clearly that they do. This is a mega generator, so it's plus 100 energy. And this is the extra large magazine, which doubles the amount of ammo you have rather than 1.5 times. The extra large magazine is incredible if you were using one of the ammo-based units. Like, for instance, the Janice. But we are not, so we're not gonna worry about that. I think we're gonna commit a little hard here. We'll Valor and Bullseye, and we'll start weakening Shagia. Like, he's gonna... Oh, we should also find a way to not die to it. Let's flash. I think he's gonna be our first target because of this lack of support defense situation. And then we can take out Olba cleanly afterwards. But I foresee us killing both of those two this upcoming turn. And then Duminass the next one. And then between those two, I'm hoping we will have enough to take down the rest of the generics. We can have this go to the Combattler. And yeah, that's close enough. Oh man, I forgot how long range the bits are. I was also hoping they could come in a little bit more so we could resist Scream with George and get some extra money off of them. Once we get onto the base proper, though, they will be out of range, at least from their starting position, and we'll need to move to attack us. That's unfortunate. The carrot might go down. Not from this attack, but from... Okay, no, we'll go. We'll go after a poorly chosen target instead. We don't want this to die here. Yeah, that's low enough we can money that. We'll have the Mephuse dodge and give that over to... Actually, hold on. Yeah, so we could... The God Gundam is not damaged yet. I could give it to the God Gundam, but it's also not on... Oh, no. We do want to give it to the God Gundam because he will start being on the HP regen terrain. So it's damage we will recover. We could have recovered, yeah, without really needing to think about it. I think we can take one hit, so let's try it. Especially because... Oh, we were getting support defense anyway. Especially because he's out of energy now, so a lot of his better attacks are absent. Yeah, this is the one that is going to be worrisome. We're going to dodge this, and if we lose the carrot, we lose the carrot. I was being careless of its position. I was healing not preemptively. I healed at a relevant time, but it did leave it out of position for the future. I should have kept something adjacent to it for support defense. Okay. So like I said, let's get these Frost Brothers out of here. They're low on resources right now. Lower on resources. That's actually really unfortunate that their second best attack costs nothing, but we can skip it with a 5 range. The only thing we'd be contending with is this 2300. What's that? Shizeru beam. Oh, scissor beam cannon. And we're not going to go through 20 of those before it dies. So maybe we can maybe just destroy them before we even have to think about this. Oh, he does have 2 more of these 3 to 8 range, and then he's also on the whole pretty out of resources. Okay. We actually have a lot of attacks with Fiona. I forgot how many support attacks she comes with. So we can start throwing more Fiona damage that away. I'm also tempted to put... I think we're going to put the Argama here. Just to give some more accuracy. That is blocking one of the sides for Olba, but we're going to clear up one of the sides, and we still have the top and bottom. We'll also have access to the right, so I think it will be okay. It's not the best, but it is a lot more accuracy. Though we still got hit on a 15. I should have looked at Fiona's hit, too. Oh, oh, right. She had 0. We need to bullseye her. And we can focus here. I think we're also going to Awaken or Zeal. I still can't remember which one is which. You get them both at like so close to roughly the same time that I can't be asked to remember which one is which. I think I am fine with that. We do have a Valor left we could use, or we could use another Awaken. I guess we're also losing a lot of accuracy because of potential. That's also low enough where someone can come in, like the Getter can come in and clean that up immediately. I think let's just do that. Valor to block any potential shenanigans. It's not a ton of difference, but he has... Oh, he doesn't have potential. I feel like our accuracy is getting worse over time. Maybe Category F does that too. Like I said, I have no idea what Category F is. Maybe Category F is like combination new type and potential in this game. Okay, we need an accuracy something also, but that's too low for focus. Though I don't think we have focus, right? We determined that last time. Yeah, we only have bullseye. I think let's also awaken too, just in case. This is a boss fight, so let's show that off. This scenario also says destroy all enemies. I don't remember if you kill Duminass if everything goes away. I'm gonna guess no. I don't think that happens a lot in this game. It does happen every once in a while. I think it happens earlier on to try to like afford you some kindness. as you. That was a lot of damage. To forge you some kindness as you're like getting used to the game. So Olba is less defensive than Shagia, so he's real close to being dead too. Can we take out all three of you? I think we might be able to take out all three of these bosses this turn. I think that's probably going to be the case. Okay, let's see what George is doing up here then, and maybe we'll just leave him to fend off all of these. How are we close? Okay, so we could use a focus, and we are safe from all of these attacks. I think I'm okay with that. And then just not worry. Oh no, if we attack this Grandmaster, that won't preclude funds in the future. And if we lose the money of all of this, that's fine. That'll be recompense for all of that extra money we gained during the one game over we got during the beginning of this round split. Okay, this G-bit has a range of 8, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Domon and Saisaishi need to get out of here just to make sure that this G-bit does go for George. That's the target we want. We do want someone to collect funds here. We maybe should have used George to funds up someone like Domon. Right, because he's the only one that has Blessing, so if we want to get that God Gun, then we need to use something with Fortune. We do have a lot of options, though. Jared does have one. What if we land the God Gundam? And we have Jared attack here. He will need to do some things to get away from dying, but that's an easy way for him to Fortune. Yeah, let's try it. Also, was he at 100 hit? Oh, he was at 100 hit. Okay, we can just persist then. And yeah, Pal isn't doing anything else we need, so here Domon is attacking. Yeah, we want Domon to attack. And I don't think we will need that. It's low enough, and Jared does do some damage. Those attacks feel like they should not come from that spot. Like, this feels so piddly compared to the kind of cannon that it is. I'm sure that it's just like the cannon has variable settings or whatever. But it's just very funny. That was very silly. The hip check killed. Good. It does kind of look like the closest approximation that this hardware has for like an Akira slide. It does kind of look like he Akira slid Kunsaki into the kill. Okay, so we can have Domon come here and weaken Olba. Is that actually no? We'll use this one instead. That is a slightly better hit, and then we can focus. We may as well Valor. It is wild how many resources we have access to now. I feel like I'm playing sloppy just because we have so much we could be spending. I'm like trying to be way too reserved. Which is again why I think there's like maybe something interesting to be done with an LTC of this. Like there's a lot of ways you can express it. Okay. Instead of Valoring, we are going to just have the getter one get over here and then get a support attack from Fiona. So we'll need Lancer to do something relevant, which was probably going to be attack this. That does mean we're not getting money out of it, but we could have. Well, okay, we need Saisaishi to move also, so we could have Saisaishi be the one that kills here. I think let's do that. The Combattler can get up now. I guess there's no reason. I guess I've been wasting a lot of energy, I suppose, by having them fly around when they could be moving and accomplishing the same thing, right? They do spend an energy for every tile they're moving while they're flying, and we're not like moving over terrain that we wouldn't otherwise be able to walk over. And the G Gundam pilot should be on the ground anyway. So, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could be to the left or below this G-bit to take it out. What if we were here instead? We could get a support attack off of the Methus. No, that's where Doman was standing. That's inside the range of that other G-bit. Okay. Do we have an Excel? We do have an Excel. So we could move here, get a support attack off of the Carrot. We have a Focus. We have a Focus and a Zeal left. Oh, we already used Focus. Never mind. Well, we can at least give ourselves another turn. And then before we move the Carrot out of here for safety, we may as well get some attacks off with it. Well, that's 23. I thought it was 15 before. Hold on. No, it was 23. I was just seeing things. And we are well, theoretically we should be the same if we're getting the same hit. Yeah, we are the same in aerospace, so I guess we'll save the energy and move on the ground. Dag, nabbit? I keep not turning the animations off. Oh boy. I can't decide if I hope you all hear it or you don't. I love thunder and lightning so much. If it's like, I did just sit outside for like 20 minutes just watching the storm earlier. It's so refreshing. Especially after like spending so much of my time staring at screens. It is like, it's real good for my eyes. Just watching nature do. Okay, so I'm debating throwing the Combattler down here to handle these 4. That does mean that they're out for taking out these bosses, but we may have these bosses sorted mostly otherwise already. Right, because I think he even has another, yeah, okay. I think we'll move the Combattler down. That'll be fine. And then we punch the Grandmaster because the G-bits will they'll die on their own. So very easily the scenario is over next turn. But it might end this turn if we do kill Duminass and that does make everyone else. Duminass does not retreat on HP threshold either. He is a safe kill. He does also have some energy. He does have some HP regen, but that will be a problem. So that's almost dead. Can Rain get that? I think Rain can get that from. I was gonna say Rain can get that with the chip from the Carrot, but she could probably also get it from the Crowda. But does she have any way to keep herself safe? She does not. Hold on. Also, what is the 8 range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8. So standing to the right of the crowd is also in range. We have to be on the left side. That's fine. And if she does take this hit and this doesn't kill, we have trusts somewhere, I'm sure. I trust that I could also remember to turn off the animations. Good golly. I do look forward to when there is a toggle button I can press if the animation is on. I think when I was playing on the PS4, tapping triangle would also end the animation if I accidentally kept it on. I guess I could speed up through it, but I'm trying not to use the speed up. I think it just looks real bad. My speed up is also just fully unbound. It's not 3 times or 4 times or anything. It's just as fast as it can possibly go. Yeah, we can have... That's not right. We can have Fa, Trust, Rain. I do want to have the Carrot move back. So the Carrot can come back and heal Jamil and then get healed by Fa. That might be the play. And then Crowda can come down here and help out with this, I guess. Or he can come over and do work on Olba. Well, no, he doesn't need to hit Olba at all. Olba's already accounted for with the Getter and the Excellence. So I guess we'll plop ourselves right here and also attack in here. Is that good? That feels less ideal. Okay, is there a way we can attack? Can we just hit this from here? Oh, we can just hit this from here. Let's just do this. And then we can that for George. That works. You're healing here. And I'm gonna move the Methus down 2 spaces. Because I think we're probably going to end up needing more help there. We already have a bullseye on, so that's something. If we do funds here, that means we can't funds Duminass, but that's okay. And we are ignoring the Valor, so that's fine. We're not going to waste the Valor because surely the Getter plus the Excellence will clean that up. We'll persist here also. Oh, right. No, but I think we still have a love left with the Excellence, so that will take care of our funds for Duminass if necessary. All right, and that is Olba down. Actually, hold on. Okay, we do have this attack, but the Getter is not close enough to get a support attack off. I don't know why that would change if I move Chibbity in. So Chibbity can check his accuracy first. That's 97. Were we more here? That's 99. Why is it more farther away? Because the Bright's sitting there. Okay. 99 is enough that I'm not going to waste 20 SP on 1 point of hit. So, we can persist, and we can Valor. And let's see where that puts us for Duminass HP. Oh boy, we can definitely kill him this turn. Okay. Let's see if Fiona still has enough. Oh no, she is short for love. That's a bummer. How much is he worth? 10,000. You know what? Whatever. We'll not worry about it. Valor and Flash. The fact that Bullseye lasts for a whole combat round is wild. You know what? The Getter also might just kill. It's quite possible. He was doing what, like 13k before? I don't remember. I don't know how much defense Shagya has in respect to Duminass. Or I guess morale. Duminass did show up late, and if he doesn't show up with 150, he might just have considerably less because he's not watching the rest of the generics die. So powerful, it's punching through the game and destroying my frame rate. No, okay, we can give this to Fiona. Like, I know it's supposed to be alien and strange looking, but it's like hard for me to interpret sometimes like what this is supposed to be. There's like some kind of owl energy to it. It does feel like it feels like Japan got a hold of our biblically accurate theme, and as if we own it. Like I'm sure that's probably circulated there, but this like has very like biblically accurate energy to it. But someone combined that with like the Eva Angels and was like, no, absolutely, the Eva Angels are canon. We never looked at his attacks. He is also kind of just boring to fight because his best attack is 3 to 8 range and has no cost to it. And the 1 to 5 also is just only 10 energy. You're like never gonna run that out. Especially when he has HP and energy regen. But yeah, I knew he had HP regen, so that's dead. I guess there's no reason to use anything else. Well, we'll get a cannon kill. It feels, I do like trying to get the characters from whose series they are to get the kills. If anyone knows in the comments, please let me know. But I think, at least when I was playing T and X, it felt like I was getting more parts off of, okay, no, everyone stays. It felt like I was getting more like unique special parts if I used people from the series to land the kill. Like, it would still drop the thing that it said it was going to, but if I use like the main character to kill the main villain, then I was also getting like a unique special hit part. I think that's true. But there's also a ton going on those screens, so it's also possible that I was just misreading them and it was showing somewhere else that was like, maybe I was only looking at the unit part and I wasn't looking at the player part, and the player part was being displayed elsewhere. Because I've definitely done that when I've been playing D, and I did that sometimes when I was playing GC also. Shame George isn't down here to get those, but we're never gonna map attack anyway. We don't have enough energy left for it, so yeah, cool. We have fortunes left, so I'm just gonna block here. We can fortune that next turn. That's enough to warrant it. Fortune, like I said, you don't happen to have an awaken somewhere, do you? No such luck. Okay, that's fine. I guess if this is probably gonna be one of the last attacks, or we can use the bigger one just for the heck of it, just to make sure. Yeah, that was triple overkill. Okay. Is Rain close enough to get any one of these? Yeah, she could definitely get one of these. Where's the carrot? You take this. Honestly, any of these will do. Actually, okay, that's not true. Not any of these will. Any of these will not do. Good gracious. We also have like a real-time watch on my controller falling to pieces. Alright, accuracy is just slightly unfortunate. We can move Lancer first. And get that leadership in. It won't be as good as Bright's, but it's only one step down, and that's not nothing. We'll have him weaken here, because I don't really care if he's getting kills. Right, because we're not going to see it. I don't think I'm going to use it after this scenario. I want him at this right angle, at this diagonal to the other bit, so that Rain can be next to him and get the best effect. Yeah, that's as close as we're gonna get. With Bright, though, that would have been full accuracy. Then Saisaishi can take this G-bit. Actually, no, let's have him take the farther one, because obviously this one's going to be easier to land. We got better hits somewhere. Yeah, that'll work. Can we use... Jared doesn't have enough left for Fortune, but we do have a Valor, so Jared can get the one of these two with the satellite cannon for just for the heck of it. Oh, we've got blessings left on George. Surely that kills, yeah. George takes one of these, and can the Excellence get over for another one? Yeah, I'd call that good. Full Valor to make sure. And we are 3 shy here for a second Fortune. So do we have a dedication? Someone's got a dedication we can use. Well, Fa has a dedication we can use. Why don't you take this? I'm also seeing enough for 2 cheers. So let's have Fiona do this first. Oh, we didn't even need to Valor. We had the support attack off of George. We have such like a glut, such a gratuity of plays and resources. It just doesn't matter. I'm just checking to see who has the highest stats. And it's going to be the getter. So we can switch to the getter 2. Okay. Do we have SP left? We can use an Excel. I want to get right next to the Carrot so that he can resupply. That gives him more XP than healing does. And then Fa can also come in and heal. Okay. Oh, they're still in their unit down here. Oops. Okay, that's fine. Can Domon get to that? Surely he can. Hold on, we're gonna use love. It does have a Fortune in it. It's silly, but we may as well. Yeah, he can get over there. Just utterly destroy this nothing of an enemy. And then George needs to... Oh, did we not use Fortune on Fiona for the Grandmaster kill? I don't think we did. Well, that's a bummer. That's what I get for going too fast. Okay, and that wraps up the scenario. Still managed to make it an hour somehow. We could have made it like 12. But there's no need to. We're already... I think we could probably take the final scenario like 3-4 scenarios ago. We could probably get the clear at that point. So a lot of these feel on the whole pretty redundant. I think the difficulty for 36 could be where the difficulty is now, and we could increase at the same rate, and then I would be a little happier. I guess there's no reason to be cagey about it. I've talked about it a couple of times. It's probably just like better if we have it transparent if you don't know the game. In 36, you were given 2 bosses, Zero and the Golfa Emperor, the 2 like main antagonists in Dendo. And you have to kill them both on the same turn. If you don't, they do full heal. And that is rough. I think it ends up generating very samey play patterns where you just do the like getter combattler thing. That's why I like prioritize them so highly in this game. Is that there are a number of bosses like that, especially in the late game, where like you just can't afford to jump them down. They have too much restoration. Or they also are packing the like after image, and like it's so cool when we get to do it. But when enemies do it, it's like, all right, well, what am I supposed to do? I could just roll bad, and my 3 damaging if I didn't have a super robot that could like ignore enemy defensive skills or didn't have bullseyes, if we were just relying on our natural mobility and focus, the amount of time we could spend being like, all right, our 3 primary attackers all just got fully ignored by that after image. Well, we've just sort of wasted this turn, and we've put ourselves in great danger by it. So it is a level of difficulty. It's not the type of way I want the difficulty expressed, but that level of difficulty, I think, would be preferable at this point in the end game and then moving forward. All right, let's talk about some things, because we have just united for our last route split. We've got no more flags, no more funny little quirky things to do. Anything that we're going to have is basically already done. There is technically one more thing with the Dendo, but we're not going to do it. The Dendo is not nearly upgraded enough to actually make that feasible. There are still more upgrades we will get throughout the last couple scenarios, but nothing like special that we need to take action about. Like, the Excellence is still going to get an upgrade, but that will happen next scenario. For now, the like biggest differences are the Ice Devolises have become Ice Devolis Customs. They don't look that much different, but they can't switch forms anymore. Not really relevant for us, but it is a major upgrade for them. They now work the way that they did during the future episode at the beginning of the game. But for us, go back to the very beginning, the Nail Argama has turned into the Rock High Loom. Slightly tankier. We need to get its parts back on it, but we do also have one more part slot now, so that does mean we get one to hold one more consumable if we want. Not that we've used them, but we do get one more of them. We also have access to another map attack. Again, this probably won't come into use, but it's definitely an option we have available to us. I do wonder if if only battleships was an option. I would like, if we had one more battleship, I would definitely be happy to try it, but you could probably accomplish it with the Rock High Loop and the Nadeshiko. I guess we also have, is this another Nadeshiko? I can't keep track of them. They look very similar. I know that there's... No, I'm looking at my flowchart, and we don't get the next Nadeshiko upgrade until scenario 34, 3 from the end. There are also some other, like, smaller things that are sprinkled in here, like the Double Zeta gets an armor upgrade, or we get some new Gundam units, but they're not going to matter for us because they're not the type of Gundam units we are going to use. We have been reunited with the Wing Boys. I've mentioned this before, but this one is slightly different, so I guess I'll point it out too. Because we were at a route split, and the game doesn't want to punish you so badly for having units that go onto a route split that you might not necessarily go there, like, for instance, the Voltes. The Voltes left at level 46. It has come back 3 levels higher. And everyone that was on the other side has come back with 3 extra levels. Right, so like Akito was at 16 when we last looked at him. And now he's at 19. Or where did we leave our Wing Boys? They're 45. Yeah, Dua's at 45, Hero's at 45, Katra's at 44. Wufei's at 45, Zex is at 45. Yeah, they're all right around that same spot. So obviously you can still outlevel some of your other characters if you like really prioritize people, like it seems like we did. But it is also it's a fixed growth. It doesn't matter what you gain during the route split, it doesn't scale up. So if you manage to make every single action you do double XP for whatever reason, you just have you really optimized your gains, or you sit and grind on those G-Bits and Grandmasters for a while, they'll still only ever gain 3, everyone from the other route split. In previous route splits, it's not 3 levels, it's only 2. The last one is unique just to really keep pace with you. But there is that, so at least we're not severely punished for not getting to use these units for a while. But that does mean we've got to reorganize all of our parts again, but finally for the last time, we'll get everything on the units we're predominantly going to be using. Let me quick take a look at next scenario. Oh, right, yeah. Next scenario is an excellence scenario. it is it's another time we fight the Frost Brothers. We fight the Frost Brothers so much. I am not of the impression that a boss has to die when you kill them the first time. Like, I'm fine with some bosses retreating for the sake of, like, narrative connectivity, right? Like, you do... Sometimes these boss fights do feel better when you know the person you're fighting and they've been around for a bit, they've been a thorn in your side. But we fight the Frost Brothers way too much. And this also isn't the last time. I did want to check. 35 is the last time we're going to fight them. They're around too often. Good gracious. But that is a problem for future us. We are just at 32. But we really are. We're really closing in on the end of the game here. I'm very excited. It'll be nice to see one of these through to completion. We are also on the eve of me posting the first video, so that's exciting. I was going to wait for the series to be over, but my schedule is working out such that I think we can now commit to doing this a little bit more, like, in time with the video releases. So by the time you are seeing this, potentially I might be doing something else. I don't know. I can't make any promises, but that will be fun and good. I guess by the time you're watching this also, we'll probably have a lot more information about why. So my words can be a time capsule for you. I guess I've been thinking about this because I've been thinking I'm releasing tomorrow. I think I'm talking to, like, the present day viewer, but really this is like maybe 2 or 3 months in the future, so we'll definitely have some more answers by then. Good gracious. Anyway, that fun reflection on time aside, I think that's it for me today. I think it might be time for some food. I'm getting a little hungry, and then we'll probably record one more for the night and then call it. So I will see you there when I get there. I got a lot of work to do between all of our money and reorganizing our parts. So I will catch you when the mathing is done. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope I see you in the next one. Take care.